there, I've had a few requests to put together a chair video where there's no need to come down to the floor or take weight on your wrists or your knees, but you can still move your body and do yoga with the help of a chair. So let's begin facing the chair. Always remember you can keep as much bend in your knees as you need to so that you don't have strained hamstrings, but also so that you can hinge a little more easily at your hip creases. So let's begin in a child chair pose. Now this is a deeper version where I've got my forearms to the seat of the chair. I find a way to rest my forehead. I bend my knees as deeply as I need to. But if you prefer to be a little higher for your chair pose, your chair child's pose, you're welcome to have the forearms to the back of the chair, resting the head, bending the knees as you need to. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to prepare to come up. Press into your heels until you feel the backs of the legs switch on. Lift the belly as you get to the bottom of the exhale, and then start to come up using the front of the body to bring you up, not your back. And then let's come so we're facing the upper back of the chair. We're going to come a little close to the chair just to rest the hands on the chair. My feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to step my right foot back as far as you can, but just check that this front knee is right above your heel, not beyond, or it loads the knee. We're going to keep our hands here for balance. So think of stretching the mat apart with the feet so the legs are working, and we're just gently drawing that back hip forward. If you feel comfortable to either take the hands to the hips or raise the arms all the way up with the palms facing in, then feel free to take that extra version. We want to have about 5 breaths in each pose. One more breath. And then we're going to take the hands to the hips, flip off the back heel, step that back foot forward, and let's prepare to do the second side. So hands to the chair, you can keep them there throughout. Press into your right foot now. We'll step the left leg back, just making sure your front knee is safe. And then we're going to use that strength in the legs to square off the hips, either keeping the hands to the chair or raising the arms all together, or you can even have the hands to the hips. And we just want to gently zip up below the navel to protect this little back bend in the lower back. Let's take one more breath here. And then on the next exhale, support yourself holding onto the chair. We're going to step that back foot through. And let's now take either our child's pose, or if you wish, you can move into a downward dog using the chair. So we're going to walk it on back until you can feel your hips right above your heels, even if your knees are bent. And we want to get to a point where we can soften through the upper back, keeping the belly drawing in to bring the ears in line with the upper arms. And when you're ready, you're going to prepare to start to come back on in. Press into the heels, lift the belly at the bottom of the exhale. We're going to walk it on back in. And now we're going to come to the other side of the chair. So first off, we're going to sit on the chair in a horse stance. So the feet are wide. My knees and toes are turning out. And my knees are pointing out over my toes. So you've just got to adjust your foot so that your knees are pointing out over your second and third toes. And we want to have a sense that the thighs are rolling out and that we're not tipping forward. So we want to gently zip up below the navel, drop the chin, and then we come to this supported horse stance. So from here, we want to come into a side stretch too. So we're going to take the left hand to the left knee, or left forearm if you can, and that right hand to the hip. As I bend away from my hip, it wants to lift. So as I exhale, I'm going to drop my hip down to the ground, and then I might take this a little further, taking that hand behind the head. I want to wind open that top chest, or I might take my arm up overhead, turning my palm towards the ground, so the little finger side of the hand is turning down. You can keep your head neutral, or draw the chin into the armpit if your neck is comfortable. We're using this forearm on the thigh to roll the thigh out in order to wind that top chest open. To come out, let's look down, and we're going to come on up and take the second side now. So hand or forearm to the thigh. Remember, as you exhale, you're dropping that buttock down that you're bending away from. You can keep that top hand to the hip, or you might find the hand comes behind the head, and as you push the head into the hand, squeeze the hand into the head, you can wind open that top chest, or you might take the final version as long as your neck and shoulders are comfortable, maybe bringing the chin into the armpit. Again, I'm using this forearm on the thigh to roll the thigh out and wind open that top chest. Keep dropping that hip down into the ground. And on your next exhale, let's look down. And we're going to come on back up. Let's take a little twist now. So we're going to gently heel toe the feet in towards one another, just to hip distance apart. I want my heels, knees and hips in one line. And I'm going to try and aim to keep that alignment as I move into a twist. So first off, let's hold on to the seat of the chair and just pull on the seat of the chair to lengthen the spine. So it also feels like I'm gently pulling my shoulder blades into the back chest, and I'm softening the chin into the front of the throat. If you can take this a little bit further, you might even take the hands back a little further, holding onto the back of the chair, and I'm pulling on the back of the chair to draw the shoulder blades into the back chest, open the front chest as I zip up below the navel. Now let's take this into a twist. Whether you've got the seat of the chair or the back of the chair, we're going to raise the left hand, take the left hand outside the right knee as you pull on that right hand. Now the tendency will be for that hip to draw back that we're twisting towards. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to push that hip and knee we're twisting towards forward as we open the same chest and shoulder back. So if you're moving your lower torso one way and your upper torso the other, it starts to feel like you're wringing out the waist like a sponge, but you also get a nice release on the lower back. We want the shoulders to drop away from the ears, the spine to lift tall. And then on the next exhale, we're going to release, just rechecking the alignment, holding onto the seat of the chair or the back of the chair. And then when you're ready, you're going to take opposite hand outside the knee. I'm still sending this hip and knee on twisting towards forward as I open same chest and shoulder back. Keep that nice lift in the spine. Everything squared off from the waist down. One more breath. And on the next exhale, let's release. I'm going to do one final standing pose. So come up to standing so you're facing the seat of the chair once more. And we're going to come with our toes just underneath the seat of the chair and take the hands to the chair, a bend in the knees. Let's step the left foot back from your footprint so your feet remain hip distance apart. And then we're going to start to let this back hip soften down a little, the front hip draw up a little, so it feels like the pelvis is level. Now from here, we're going to take a little twist. So you can either bring your same hand as front leg to the hip, or you can take that arm out at shoulder height, palm facing down, or you might even start to wind open that top chest, but maintain firm pressure down into your back foot. So I'm still trying to square off my hips. It feels like I'm stretching the mat apart with the feet. As you exhale, let's come on back down. We're going to flip off that back heel, step the back foot through, and come to a little child's pose or downward dog on the chair between sides, just to have a little rest. You might come to a fuller version of child's pose on the chair like I'm in now. And then let's do the second side, so coming on back up. We're going to have the feet hip distance apart and step the right foot back. So I want to draw my front hip up and back and my back hip down and forward until it feels like I've got a tabletop feeling on the pelvis. And now we're going to take our twist again. So you can take that front hand, same hand as front leg, to the hip or out at shoulder height, or you might start to wind it open, staying firm down into that back heel. One more breath. And on the next exhale, let's come on back. We're going to use the chair to step it forward. One final child's pose or downward dog to the chair, whatever suits you. And then press into the heels, lift the belly. Use an inhale to bring yourself all the way back up. Raise the arms just to wherever it's comfortable on your shoulders. And we're going to exhale and let the arms float down.